North Security Lord Spam in the house. Matt Downer in the house. This is the early one because I'm going to be out later. Manoj Roy from India is in the house. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. It's a Friday. Well, in my neck of the woods it is. And we are overcast today. So, yeah, crazy. The weather was 85, now it's 60. But all right, no problem. Hope you guys are doing well. Today's my weekend alone. My boy is back with his mom, and we're going to have a fun time this weekend. Got a lot of activities planned. Hope you guys do too. Well, let's talk about this real quick. Why should you never take an ex back? It's very simple. If she left you for somebody else and you want her back, you, number one, disrespect yourself, and she will double disrespect you. Let that sink in. You disrespect someone that threw you away. You want her back. There's so many analogies. I always say the word or the analogy, don't bathe in dirty water. Don't dig through yesterday's trash, right? But it goes down to respecting oneself. Emery, let's see, we got Emery's in the house. Tell me where you're from. Matt Downer says, spend it alone. It's the guys' night out for tonight. There you go. Heck yeah. So that's the story. If you take an ex back, it's the ultimate sign of disrespect for you, and she doubly disrespects you, and then she will do it again because now you're back under her. You put her back on the pedestal. You forgave her, and you're thinking things will change. But I'm going to have to tell you something, and it goes for the guys too. So if any ladies are listening, a tiger won't change its stripes. And I believe that infidelity and lack of loyalty is the number one, like the worst thing that could ever happen to you. If you did it to someone or they did it to you. And if they did it to you, you kick them to the curb. You don't take them ever back. And that's just the bottom line. No name. You never know what that ex has done and when she's on a break. Yeah. They're just not trustworthy, loyal people that you want to spend your life with. And if you take them back, you have literally disrespected yourself. And that's probably the biggest reason why you don't. If you have any respect or any love or self-concept about yourself and somebody cheats on you, let them go and never take them back. I've talked to so many people that have wanted to bring them back because they live in that fantasy state. They're thinking, oh, she'll go back to who she was and it'll be great how we first met and all that crap. Matt Downer, you can't take her back. The damage has already been done 100%. I'd rather shish in my hands and clap. Suzanne is in the house. She thinks that she has you under her thumb. There you go. And you do if you take her back, right? You are under her thumb. She's on the pedestal again. She can do it again because she knows more than likely you'll take her back again. It happens all the time. Manage says losing self-respect, 100%. Once a cheater, always a cheater. I agree with that statement, Bernard, 100%. You, a tiger, will not change its stripes. And that's just reality. And what's going to happen, most likely, if you believe in karma or what goes around comes around, she will probably be cheated on too. So let them run the path of disrespect, but with another person. My ex left me before going on a vacation trip and getting close to another man. I love myself and am making big moves in my life. She doesn't exist anymore. That's the best thing you could do, North Security. Move forward and love yourself. Work on yourself. There's millions of women. There's millions of opportunities. And the fantasy's over. It's as simple as that. And it's so hard for guys to realize that. The fantasy has been destroyed when that happens. Right? What's the reality? This woman, and if you're a woman who's been cheated on, or that man has literally disrespected your bond. How do you get that back? Right? Cyberzoni's in the house. Good to see you. Michael Skipper, taking an ex back is like watching the same movie over and over again and expecting a different ending. Very well said. It's that old adage, a tiger doesn't change its stripes. You know, someone said, oh my gosh, I was talking to a friend of mine. Oh, she's changed. It's been 10 years since they talked. She's changed. And I said, well, how has she changed? Oh, she's just calmer and she's more respectful and she's paying attention to me. They're not dating or anything. They've just been in contact. And I said, I don't want to rain on your parade, but guy, they don't change ever, right? The tiger will not change its stripes. She will, if you take her back 10 years later, the same thing will happen again. Right on, Michael. She's beneath me now, says Matt. Absolutely. The society shames man for cheating. Yes, they do. Break the bond. They break the bond. Sake B, all the way across the pond. She came back. I played the fool just saying to her, let's be F buddies. If I threw her down 3 times and blocked her from everywhere, ghosted. To be honest, I still loved her, but my self-respect is more important. There you go. Respect is the key, and self-respect is more important than any ex taking you back. The best revenge you could ever take is success. Chase excellence, rub it in their face. The best success, I think, if someone cheats on you, is to make your life the best possible version, just like you said. Go out, have a great life, get better, get richer, get fitter, travel, find new opportunities, maybe go out with a new gal that's 10 times as hot. I don't know. But if you don't do any of those things, she still subconsciously has you, right? She still subconsciously has you, or she's still propped up on the pedestal, right? That's the best thing to do. Someone had responded that, chasing success success is the best revenge, was like basically still putting that person on a pedestal, but subconsciously, and success for oneself is what we're seeking. Now, what happens when she will find out about you eventually, and she's going to see that you've changed. You've blossomed because of it. It didn't get you down. She wants you to sit on a shelf and cry yourself to sleep every night. Gain 300 pounds, become a loser, lose your jobs, and that's what she wants in the back of her mind. Right? She's changed. She's more chill. She smashed the wall and it hurt. That's right, Lord Spawn. Very well said. Thanks, Rad. Your videos helped me a lot. Now I became the best version of myself, and keep going. Keep going, Sax. Matt Downer. I ghost myself and become monk. There you go. Whatever works for us, right? Some guys go monk. Some guys go, hit and quit. Some guys, whatever they do. It's whatever brings you peace and happiness. And that is the key. It's the awareness. Get better, richer, fit, travel, get more confident, and date someone tenfold better as you become tenfold better. That's the level you want to have. It's exact. Perfectly said. Perfectly said. And that is my biggest, that is why you don't take them back. I was asked if I would ever get back with my ex several times from friends. Hey, if she came back and she was repentant and really owned up and took accountability, as I have, right? What would I do? What would I take her back? And the answer is absolutely no. Absolutely no. But they said, well, what if you guys were together? Hey, FJT's in the house. Good to see you. What if you were guys? What if she came? She looked great. You had romantic feelings. I go, no, I've already passed that. I've already passed that stage. I don't have romantic feelings anymore. She's the mother of my kids. That chapter closed 6 years ago. Well, would you hit it? And I said, absolutely not. Guys, if you bring an ex back, it's even like knowing that their ex, the guy wouldn't even, lay down on a couch with them or on a bed is that much better, because it literally, you're basically moved on. The physical doesn't matter anymore. You respect yourself so much that this person is throwing herself at you and you could care less. I emailed you about justice. I think I responded to that. Getting richer will drive her nuts, says Suzanne. I think you're right. Richer, more attractive, stronger, happier, right? Bo Left in the house. Great to have you, of course. FJT, I'd never get back with any of my exes. I wouldn't even have them for one night. Absolutely. Never take them back for anything. Be cordial if they call and respond to you. Some people block. I don't block anybody. I don't have to respond, Now, if they're annoying and they're constantly stalking you and harassing you, that's a different story. But I never block. I just don't respond. Simple as that. But it's entertainment to see exactly the messages that they say. In fact, I got a message. I was sleeping last night. 1 a.m, an ex-girlfriend had texted me. Just funny. Haven't even responded. Probably, and I won't. John Boston in the house. Didn't your ex put you through the court system? I would never get back. Yes, she did. 29 fucking months. And yeah, I would never get back with her. Ever. Now, I'm going to do the right thing and be cordial in front of my kids and be a gentleman in terms of not just being stoic, in the sense that if she asks me a question, I will respond. I will be respectful. She's the mother of my kids, but no, I would never take her back. And that's probably one of the reasons. Number one, she had an affair, whether it was emotional, mental, or physical. I don't know. It's probably all three. She put me through the court system, and I've lost everything. There's nothing in me. In fact, I look at old pictures. I've looked at old pictures or whatever in the last 6 years. I've seen a picture, and I just don't have nothing strikes up that feeling, right? It's weird. Repentant, comeback, groveling means she put on the sheep disguise. Don't be fooled by that wolf. Well said, Lord Spawn. That's something I never done or could do, taking an ex back, mistake, syntax error. It does not compute. Does not compute, Bull. Great saying from a great pope. Justice is delivered by insight and forward thinking. Well said. Freaky Jersey Tales. You're better than me, Rad. 95% of my exes are blocked. Well, it's not the fact that blocking them is bad. I never block them just because I want to see what they say. It's almost, and some people, FJT, you probably got a ton of ladies, so it probably eats up your, you're probably getting constant notifications, but I could care less. If it comes through, great. I usually just delete it. It's funny, some of these messages that come through. I've been thinking about you. This was some gal a couple of days ago that I dated in high school texted me. We kept in touch over the last couple decades, but she's married, miserable. I don't even respond. It's hilarious, some of these messages that come through. Like, just the thinking behind it. Anyhow, I blocked her because I still have feelings for her. Not that I'm a pussy, but need to move on. We are humans. We all do things differently. Some people block, some people don't. I don't, just because I like to see what comes through. Now, if I had connection to them, that might be a different story. 29 months. My ex put us in court for 20 months. I really do think women will leave marriage when they have another option. I would agree, John, 100%. She's not yours. It's just your turn. Makes complete sense, right? All she wants is money and attention, but she can't have any. Well, I think that's another issue. If you take her back, you give her attention and validation, right? And attention and validation is, as we know, is part of their currency, their mental and emotional currency. So if you take them back, you disrespect yourself, she disrespects you double, she's going to do it again, and she gets free attention and validation. And I've had a couple friends take their exes back. I had a friend that got divorced. She went out, got married. He never got married. She got divorced 10 years later, and he took her back. Guess what happened? They're now separated, going through a second divorce. So he's been married twice to the same lady. She's been married three times to two different men. It doesn't work, ever. They all want attention even more than money. Well, attention is what their currency is. And I believe, just from my perspective, that it's because it's inherent in their biology. I think it goes back all the way to the reality that they're men that were hunting for bison and buffalo to bring back to the tribe. Nobody paid attention to them. And so they craved it, and they sought it, they needed it. I think it goes back thousands and thousands of years, why it is. Not only attention, validation, but most dangerously, permission. Right? You do not ever take an ex back, never. Yeah, damn right. Here's the problem. If you do, they're going to do it again. Do you really want to repeat all the heartbreak you went through? You got to logically think about it. They don't change. You didn't change. You'll improve yourself, but I swear a lot of the mentality, and we're stubborn creatures too. But I think that once we understand things, we decide on a better path to take. And a lot of us later in life, we're more stubborn and bullheaded, but we also use that awareness to make our lives better. So yeah, you never take them back, John. Absolutely. Brad, I'm curious, how did you find out she was having an affair? A couple things. She was gone. She'd come home late. She said she'd be hiking, but she'd have food. She'd go to like sports bars, and I'm like, she never did that. And then I found an old phone that had some messages on it that from a girl that a female friend of her were texting back about some guy at work. So I just put 3 and 3 together. I basically told her, I suspected something. She's denied it, of course, but there you go. I know quite some guys that got back with their exes. Not one has lasted. Not one. There you go. The reality of people remarrying their first spouse, it's got to be a 99.8% divorce rate. It's got to be. Permission as in doing it all over again. Yeah. Yeah. She's coming back because option B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on did not work out. And she takes you back because she doesn't want to be alone. She wants attention. She's going to tell you everything that she's changed and she's better and so forth. And that doesn't work. I couldn't find any unicorn in my life. Well, I'm sure they exist, Minaj, but we're all looking for that well. And again. Who had an affair? Rad's ex-wife. Yes, that's who we're talking about. Let's see what we got. I've gotten with an ex before, and she cheated on me every other effing month. Never do it. LOL. Yep. Guys, they cheat once, they'll do it again, and they'll cheat on the next guy, and the next guy, and the next guy. It's as simple as that. There's just no disrespect. It's probably more toxic than a narcissist or a triad or a cluster B, blah, blah, blah. The pattern starts with little small lies, a girl's night out, then an affair, then a boyfriend on the side, then boom, you're in divorce court. They leave a trail of description up to the big ending. 100%, John. It starts really small. And then when I was putting the pieces together, the timeline, I just noticed she would become distant. She'd get angry over little things. She'd start making shit up like she was here, but she wasn't. And we ended up in the end, just like John talks about. Never, ever take your ex back. Last time I checked, unicorns are myth. A legend does not exist. Well, and they also have a horn on their head. So, They'll stab you, right? So I guess if there is a unicorn, they'll eventually become a non-unicorn, stab you, and then run back to the unicorn well. But most are unicorns and princesses today. I just need to send out a press release to everybody. Puts on sheep suit, I'm better off. Chain translation, I need new options, A, B, C, D, while lying to you again. Lord Spawn coming up with some serious truth here. But I tell you, it's the disrespect that we bring ourselves if we take them back. I mean, we literally are throwing ourselves in a gutter, having sewer wash all over us, and expecting to wake up, stand up, and be clean as a whistle. You know? My ex cheated, and when I found out, she told me I should have never been spying on her. It's your fault, FJT. She cheated on you, right? Because you spied on her. Again, no accountability, no responsibility, right? She cheated because she's unhappy, she's upset. Well, cheating is going to happen. It's going to continue to happen. And the only way you avoid cheating is you do not allow yourself to be in that situation ever again. It's as simple as that. Hit and quit, 2 or 3, you're done. Relationships with women nowadays, says Cyberzoni, is just too much work. I think you have a large consensus here, my brother. Rick Lou in the house, good to have you in here today. Truth it is. Liam Johnson, hypergamy is real. They always want something better. They always seek. You know, it's funny. My ex-wife would always go to the store every single day, whether she needed or something or not. It's almost as though she always loved to continue to see what was in that store. What could she buy? What new option could she get? And I think there's a correlation between spending and seeking on the different options. Their mind is constantly seeking something new, a new option. I don't know what it is. It's got to be biology or something. Very well said, Liam. They plan the divorce way before you know about it. They are told by divorce attorneys how to strategize. Wait till kids are 12, then use the RO to get the man out of the house. It's a boilerplate, man. And they try to get the authorities involved to give them the upper hand. Guys, do not ever marry. I'm not saying because I don't want you to have a family. It's the risks and the rewards. Listen to guys like ourselves. Rick Lou, thank you, brother. My ex in court had her attorney say she had an affair because she was lonely. I said she could have read a book or planted some flowers or take the kids out to ice cream. Isn't that funny? Let's go back to that. She's lonely because John isn't giving her attention. So she uses John as an excuse to go and have an affair. Where's the morality? Emotions trump morality with the female brain, most of them. I never cheated because if I did, I'd feel so guilty. Bada bing, in the house. Women want the security of a marriage, but also the excitement of strange baloney pony. Yes. Yes, they do. They seek it, they crave it. And it's only been exacerbated and accelerated through media, social media, reality TV shows, you name it. I think cheating, having an affair, is really having no character. If you are in need of an affair, then stay single. It's not hard. Bolef. Right on, brother. Victor Cervantes, my ex told me that I'm toxic. I got me a 24-pack of Corona, and I'm a toxic man, but happy. You're not toxic. You're just not giving her what she desires, which is 100% of your money, time, and resources. I've always said if you don't give a woman 100% of everything, the modern women and most, you're toxic, controlling, abusive, power tripper, bipolar, manipulative, you name it. Just goes down. But if you give them everything, then they walk all over you like a doormat. How does that work? FJT, women don't call it cheating. They call it leveling up. Yep, there's no such thing as immorality anymore in today's world. And there's no accountability. And it's okay because it's being talked about in their Oprah magazines, in their Cosmopolitans, you name it. It's guys, sit back and work on yourselves, right? It's too damn expensive to have a family. It creates too much mental instability. Yes, it does. 24 pack should do the job. Just stay at home on the couch, leveling up. Isn't it great how so many different, there's so many different ways to say to cheat. I leveled up, I exercised my options, I felt female liberation, I wanted to go and experience something because I've been a mother for 12 years and I don't know who I am anymore. It's just constant comparison. It's trying to make evil good. It's crazy. Guilt is the emotion that women don't feel, I think is what you say. Yep, I agree. Women, I think, the modern day woman, majority, I'm not saying all of them, their emotions trump morality. So there's no such thing as feeling guilty. It's how they feel in the moment. Remember, our brains are different. The produce section of Whole Foods is where the MILFs shop. I have seen married women I know talking up with guys and exchanging numbers. Both these women, I knew their husband. There you go. Rad, my ex, 33, tells me all the time she doesn't want men in her life, but is on Tinder. Is she lying? You know she's lying. And she wants attention. But let's just say she doesn't go out with anyone on Tinder. She's swiping and they're swiping on her. She's getting attention. Which means if you were with her, she'd do the same thing. That book has already been read. You already know what's behind in every one of those chapters, Charles. She will continue to do it. And you disrespect yourself if you even entertain her. Best thing you can do is cut her off, work on yourself, take some time to heal, and believe the reality, not the fantasy. I only do friends with benefit now because I don't want the moral weight of cheating or the desire for other women in a relationship. So I keep my options open. There's nothing wrong with that. Keep your heart out of it. Keep your wallet out of it. Keep your mental faculties out of it. Fear of missing out is a deal breaker. Get your divorce papers right away. There you go. The tension becomes female validation. Well said, Matt. Victor Cervantes, peace and quiet is good. Damn right it's good. Now, the reality is this. The rewards and risks, you have to weigh that in any relationship. If we know that emotions can trump morality at any given time, then the loyalty question or the loyalty quotient of a relationship would be the most inconsistent, right? How could we even trust or believe, knowing what we know now? Now, if we didn't know any of this stuff, we jump in the next relationship saying she's better, and so forth. But now that we know that women have different brains and they exercise their options differently, or they're looking for a bigger and better deal, why would we want to invest so much emotion and mental resources into her if she could leave us? And women are leaving more and more today than they ever have, right? Life advice in the house. My ex left me after a vacation. We went together to a tropical island for my 40th. Couple of arguments here and there, but still gave me the peace leave every day. Then I got blindsided when we came home. Well, she did her duty, right, on the vacation. What if she didn't do her duty? But the reality, yeah, I mean, that happens all the time. I remember we were living on the West Coast and we went on a vacation, just her and I, and we came back and that's when the shit shows. And we had a great vacation, her and I. I mean, 2-3 times a day, we hung out, went to the pool, hiked, and then bam, it got home, completely different, changed overnight, which is probably changing over the last couple of years, but it just came out of nowhere, right? I only keep my friends' circle small and wallets filled with cash and praise. Matt, good for you. Keep doing that, stacking bills, working on yourself. Peace and quiet is fantastic, says Bull. My feelings tell me that she lies, but when I see her, I have the same person in mind as she's seen before. But that's the confusion. Yes, you're thinking of the fantasy. The reality is she cheated on you. She threw your ass into the curb with sewer running and then drove over you and laughed and took a picture and sent to your friends. You don't want that woman in your life. She'll do it again. But you have to literally get out of the fantasy. That's why you're trying to save it. You want to believe that she can go back to the first inclination of who she was in the beginning, and she never will, ever. And that's the reality of guys that miss their exes and take them back. They believe in the fantasy. There's no such thing as the fantasy, because that fantasy was only reality in the beginning of the relationship. The reality has changed. How many times? And the reality now is a nightmare. Relationship with good friends is no risk. Trust me, I know character of my friend so well that I can trust him blindly. Good. Having good friends is key, Manoj. Maybe my answer is too fast. It was Tinder. Tinder is a dating site, isn't it? Yes, it is. Then I repeat, you got to be kidding me. If she's on Tinder, she's seeking attention from men, unless she's looking for female attention. But if she's on Tinder, she wants attention from men. And it's only a matter of time, Charles, until she sees some 6'4", six-pack Middle Eastern guy that she's going to go out with. It's it is what it is, right? Let's see. She saw them on vacation and it triggered her fear of missing out. Yes, it did. Better have a small circle of friends, the ones I consider really close, I would go to war with. Yes, it is. They got your back, most of them. Ex-girlfriend didn't want to get back together, says first name, last name, because I was talking to other girls. But she was talking to guys. Why can't guys have options and girls have options? Well, in today's world, why not? But I wouldn't even get to that point. Just have very short-term relationships where there's no girlfriend-boyfriend status. You can have as many options as you want. Your heart's not involved. Your wallet's not involved. And life will be perfect. That's the way I like to run. Tinder is a huge red flag. It's a flagrant foul ejection. Yes, it does, Bull. 2 flagrants. It doesn't matter if you're a Chad, says FJT. A lot of chance have girlfriends that want to sleep with. A lot have the chance to have girlfriends that want to sleep. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I've been the Chad in multiple situations. I told you about the one gal that called me at 11:30 that night. And she totally called me up, went out on a date with the guy, and thought about me the whole time, came over at 12:30 that night. Got a $100 dinner, drinks. Guy probably worshipped her, simped on her, and she came over to my house. She said she couldn't stop thinking about me. And this chick was she was the ex-wife of a dentist. Not that has anything to do with it, but she was pretty well put together, didn't have any financial issues. So in my time on Facebook, I've seen at least 3 women go on vacation with their men only to break up and follow with praise for them from the Brown Beach Boys. They probably got a ton of attention, right, Lord Spawn? RAD, rebel against defeat. That's it, man. Rebel against the defeat of a breakup or someone cheating on you. You rebel. When you rebel, you get better. Eugene Murphy's in the house. You'll never make them happy no matter what happens. Let's just say it would be very difficult to make her happy. Breakups after vacation seem to be very common, and after holidays as well. Charles DC, I could not take her back just knowing that other guys used her is making me sick. I just find strange she has a lot of acne on her face now. She is changing. Get to that point, man. Write your list of pros and cons down. Take a snapshot on your phone and read it every day. She has used and abused you. You never take that back. Never take her back. Jablonski Nichols, I hope I said that right. I see all of the time women and feminists talking about MGTOW as a band of women haters and so on, only because we say that to be happy a woman is not necessary. That is the next level of narcissism. I would agree with that. We do not hate women. We understand women. We understand women so that we don't get trapped again. We don't fall back in taking an ex back. We don't believe that they will stay loyal. or faithful. Now, there's a majority, there's a percentage that I'm omitting out of that, but I have not found them. So remove all the headache by being smart and wise. Learn from your mistakes and the mistakes of others. Never get bitten by the same snake twice. It's the same venom, isn't it, Eugene? Same venom. Good comment. But divorces after marriages seem to take the crown. Yep. I know a lot of guys getting remarried after their divorce. They will eventually become aware, hopefully. I was intentionally harassed by a woman for no reason. Why did she do so for no reason? You might not have been giving her attention or validation. Or she wanted to strike up. Actually, sometimes women will just strike up a conversation, a negative conversation, just to get you to react. So if you didn't react, then you won. 100% of divorces are caused by marriage. Yes, it is. Pros and cons all day. Read them. Mysterio's in the house, painting in my condo. Good for you. What color? I can't hang out with my friends as much because their girlfriends and wives are controlling them to not hang out with their friends, and it's annoying me. I can't hang out with my friends as much because they're girlfriends and wives. Okay, how do I approach this, or do I find new people? Well, they're obviously, find guys that can hang out. Those are the type, they'll have to ask permission. In fact, they probably sit down to go to the bathroom. I mean, if they can't get out, I used to tell, this is one, probably the way I ran in my marriage. I said, I'm going out tonight. I'll be back at 11, going out with my bros. And if she said no, I'd say, I'd still go. That's just how I ran. But I didn't do it every night. And once a week, sometimes twice a week if I had a friend in town. But yeah, you got to find new bros because they're going to be really hard to get out. And if they do go out, the woman's going to be texting them. And they'll feel guilty and probably leave early. Never get stung by the queen bee, says Matt. Well said. You're bitter. Translation, you're experienced, and I don't know how to deal with my tricks not working on you. Hey, well said. Well said. Sick Vlad in the house. The worst thing is you try to approach them about it. These friends can end up resenting you for keeping it real. Well said. Well said. It's hard when you move past into this awareness stage that the red pill knowledge, affords us, but you're also going to lose friendships over it, or your friends will not be the same as they once were, right? They're going to see you living a life. You get with guys that are seeking excellence, that are making themselves better. Go to the gym. I met some cool guys at the gym. We've gone on mountain bike rides. I mountain bike a lot, so I'm in a couple groups, meet people that just have the same style. It's amazing the guys I've met who are divorced, they're not in relationships and they're really not seeking it, but they're not really, they don't watch this content. So we talk about certain things, and that's the deal. There are guys out there like us that you can be friends with. Why do I get attention from 4, 5, 6, 12-year-old kids, especially the female kids, interesting in talking to me? I don't know. You might be a young-looking man. They want attention, especially women. Younger girls, 6, 7-year-olds are getting to the point where they're testing the waters of how to approach people. I don't know. Good question. I would say the 12-year-old girls at least are now testing the waters significantly. Lord Spawn taking off. Good to see you. Father needs me to chase excellence on his lawn. Good for you. Thanks for being here. Rick, my friend with benefit wants a relationship. She has a toxic mother and daughter who keep telling her not to see me. Women always live in a world of discontent. It's not worth it, men. I would agree. Andrew Briggs in the house. What's my opinion on Coach Corey Wayne? I've watched Coach Corey Wayne. He's got some good content. Again, I think he pushes how to be, in the 3% Men Club. He tells you how to act and be stalwart, but with all sorts of relationship experts, what happens when that woman that you're dating gets bored and you've done everything, or she gets mad at you and she can punch digits in her phone. That's the problem that I think a lot of these guys have a hard time of understanding. You know, it's different. It's difficult because our brains are so different. And I think a lot of relationship experts try to paint a narrative that relationships can work, but I don't think they're taking into perspective that the brains are so different that, especially in today's world, it's very risky and difficult to see them work. Guys, if you don't believe me, go get in a relationship. Go get in a relationship, see what happens. Report back in a year. Is she the same? How is she like? Is she exactly like the day you met? You guys have had massive amounts of fun. Just test it out. Knowing this awareness that our brains are so different gives us so much, gives us the ability to have a great life. Now we don't have to use our logic to convince them. We know that they're going to change their mind 100 times a day. You know, we don't have to fight it. We know it. We just don't invest emotionally, mentally, physically, or actually financially, and cohabitating. Something my father told me when I was a teenager: the richest man in the world is not the one that owns the most, but the one that needs the less. Right? Less is more. I believe that 100%, Bull. You have to keep giving a woman an emotional high in order to keep them with you. Too much effort for I think Rick just said it. Rick just nailed it. The dopamine, they're constantly seeking dopamine. That's why women love, I think, to spend money, because it's a new dopamine fix every day. They love to purchase something. Even if it's a little trinket that she's going to toss out in 6 weeks. The fact that she was able to get an emotional high off buying something is all she needed for that day. Well said, Rick. There was a Chad at the gym that is better looking than me, more muscles, sharp jawline, makes 3 times as much as I do, and his wife always touched me. One time she even grabbed my upper thigh. FJT. Well, number one, it's because you're a Casanova. And number two is because that's what they do. It's as simple as that. I remember my friend who was an MMA fighter. He's an MMA fighter. Badass. You never mess with him. His wife would hug and kiss on the cheek other men in front of him at school events, at church, you name it. And finally had enough of it. I mean, attention and validation. That's what they're seeking. I was in a 10-year relationship. She broke up due to the last 6 months, which were very stressful. What is the empathy? There's no empathy. No, there's no such thing. Emotions trump all morality. Empathy is a moral concern, right? Empathy or sympathy or feeling bad is something that they would have to literally have a moral compass to experience. But there's no empathy. No, mine didn't have empathy. Are you kidding? 20 years? Breaks a family up, breaks 3 kids' hearts? No, she didn't give a crap. No way. Par for the course. There's no such thing as empathy. They can't even feel. If they felt something, why would she cheat on you? If she felt knowing that she was looking at another guy, why would she cheat on you? What will happen in the future with divorce when men hide their money in crypto? Now you're thinking, well, they're going to try and find out a lot of different things. So, number one, you're going to have to figure out how to move the money without it being traced, right? If you move money into Coinbase, they can get a transaction. So, but I've thought about that, sure. I have crypto. I had crypto before the divorce. So that's it. I mean, that's where we're at. Never take an ex back. If you do, you disrespect yourself. You throw yourself in a nasty cesspool of sewer, hoping when you get out, you got a clean towel, that everything's going to be better. It's not. It's still stained. It's still disgusting. It's still nasty. And that's exactly how it'll be the next time around. Oh, sure, you might have a great date talking about old times. That means shit. Again, a tiger's stripes do not change. Shepherd of fire. Hello, Rad and crew. May you all be blessed on your paths. And you too, friend. Thanks for being here, brother. That's reality. Respecting yourself is the key in this whole movement and this whole idea and the moving forward in life. You respect yourself by taking care of yourself, by building yourself, by chasing excellence, by learning new things, by associating yourself with people that are going with you, that are building you up, that are not cheating on you, that are not looking for the easy way out. You know, building and working on yourself is not easy. It's so easy just to sit on a couch and watch Netflix and, you know, and drink all night and not work out and get fat and eat pizzas. That's easy. You know, it's hard going to the gym 4 times a week, lifting heavier weight, stressing your body, reading, you know, checking out ways to make money, whether it's online or building a business. Those are not easy things to do. So when you're around people that are obviously in the same avenue of life that want to be better themselves, that are working on themselves, that helps. You know, find guys that are in that network, and a lot of them work out. Guys that are on their purpose work out. They jog or they run or they ride mountain bikes. They do things to move forward. That's who we need to associate ourselves with, right? Charles EC, by my ex, she left me behind for dead. Could have died. She acted cold. She still believes at 33 she has all the time. Clock is ticking. Doesn't that just piss you off? Doesn't that make you upset? And yet somewhere in that dark recess, she's a fantastical version of herself telling you she loves you. I know, because I've been there. But read that. Read that statement right there. Click that and read it every day. Peter Parker in the house. Taking her back proves your low value. She'll never respect you for that. 100%. If you disrespect yourself, you have no value in yourself. We got Roy Naja 1. Why our grandfathers didn't lift weights, but they were stronger than men today? Well, they were out in the fields. They also had a different mentality back then. And they constantly pushed themselves. I mean, they worked all day and slept 5, 6 hours a night, got up and did it again. So they were mentally tough, I think. Darley Lambert, taking X backs just show that you have no options. Well said, brother. That's great, Darley. That's another point. You have no options. That she's on a pedestal. You're sitting on a shelf, crying every night, wanting her back. Doesn't matter what she did. I just love her. I want her back. No. That's whole thinking. Dark minds, rubbing your ex's face by being successful. She regret and hate you for it. Success is a great revenge. Success is the best revenge. I'm getting out of an 18-year relationship. Forget empathy. Move forward. You will need to take time for yourself. But don't forget that you still have many years ahead. Oh, yeah. Absolutely, Bo. Once they ditch me, I feel frustrated for every other woman. I feel very happy for my dream and running towards my dream, accomplishing goals and targets. Because it's more fulfilling, right, Minaj? More fulfilling. My ex in her 50s thought divorcing me would make her a flirtatious 16. John, that's the reality of all of them. The moment they divorce you at age 50, they're now 29, 26. And they just wait. The reality on dating apps, they get hit and quit, or they find massive doormats, or they realize that nobody wants them. And it's sad. That's the reality of dating apps and dating for women in their 50s. Nobody wants to settle down unless he's 70. Gotta go, battery, 1%. Good to see you, North. Stay awesome as well. Did you buy Bitcoin before it hit 60K this year? Yes, I did. It was a lot cheaper than that. It wasn't even in the thousands when I bought it. But I took a risk, several years ago. So, but I've played around with it and I've invested in others and I've used some of that investment for other things. Some have gone up, some have gone down, but it is what it is. Who knows what's going to happen? What's down at 37 today? No one knows what's going to happen. We think it'll move forward. Got in a little argument with ex-girlfriend. She gave out my phone number to her friend to send me hate texts over something that wasn't a big deal. Jeez, talk about drama. See you later, Matt. First name, last name, typical, right? I suspect that it's not your ex behaving like that. Nope. Matt's out of here. Guys, I'm out of here too. It's rebel against defeat. Remember, you take her back, you disrespect yourself, and she doubly disrespects you, and she'll do it again. And she'll make you feel even worse the second time around. Work on yourself, chase excellence. Masculinity, men first. You guys are awesome.